SQL. SQL is nothing but the what kind of the database. Okay, for structured query language. Okay, so first of all, before going to start this, we will see it's called the data. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. Okay, so first of all, the data. Okay, data. So how many different type of the data structures we do have? Any ideas? How many type of structured data we have? So I can say there are the data are two types. Okay, one is called as the structure and unstructured. Unstructured. Okay, structure, unstructured. Structure. What are the structured data we do have? One is I can say is the hierarchical structures we do have, and after that we do have the network, and after that we have the object oriented, and after that we do have the relational. Okay, these are the structured data we do have. Okay, so even not only here, if you will go and study the big data, there also you will see the same kind of the concept. In the big data there is the languages Hive. If you will study that one, so there also you will see the same things. Okay, if you will see the unstructured in the sense, I can say the no SQL. There I can say the something is called as the key store, and after that I can say the documentation. After I can say is the graphs, and after you can say something it's called as the white others. Okay, so there are so many things there in the structure and unstructured data. So but SQL is what type of the data is? Or SQL is the relational data, which is we used to call as the RDBMS. 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 So this is nothing but the relational database management system. Okay. So now we are going to see the RDMS. Okay. So before I'm going to study this RDMS, there are something we have to see. Something is called as the, you guys are aware about the server. Okay. So like for example, this is called as a, let's see, server. Okay. This server is nothing but the, we do have the different server. For example, let's see, this is the RDMS. Okay. So this RDMS is nothing but the is nothing but the you can say this is the empty server. So this is totally empty server. It's nothing but the, you can say, is a collection of the data. Okay, to interact with this RDBMS, RDBMS. So you need something which is called as the, you can say, tools. Okay, the tools are nothing but the now you can use the workbench, or you can use the pg admin, or you can use the SQL Server database. Okay, so many things are there. Okay, DB or something also there. So there are so many things are there. So which is called as the, this all are called as the what? Nothing but the client SQL server. Client SQL server. Okay, from here you have to send the request. Okay, so once you are writing any code, okay, that code you are sending through the APIs. So you are sending through via APIs. That APIs go and create the database here. For example, this is the server. Uh, let's see, this is something, it's called as the, first you have to create the database. So let's assume it. This database is nothing but the HR database. The name of the database is HR, and inside the database you have to create the tables. That is the different table. Okay, this is the table. So this table you can say is the IT department table. Inside this table you have to create the columns and rows. Multiple columns and rows. This is used to call as the employees. This table is the IT department. Inside the what type of the table? Like employee table. So employee information. Okay. So information, all the information which is into the rows and columns. So first you have to create the database. Inside the database you can create the table. So inside the database you can create multiple tables. Okay, not one table, you can create as much as you want. On the basis of the capacity you can create the multiple tables. Okay, in the multiple tables you can create the multiple columns and rows. Okay, so this is the overall funda. Okay, so here you have to yesterday I guide you, I just instructed you how to download this, the workbench. So I would suggest like you guys can download the 8.0. Okay. So now let's go and jump into this SQL. So inside the SQL, first we do have something is called as a DDL command. Okay, DDL command. DDL command is nothing but the data definition language. Okay, data definition language. This is called as the DDL. And after that, we do have something is called as the DML. Okay, so first we will see what is the DDL. DDL is nothing but the data definition language. So this will help you to create a table. This will help you to create a new table, because once you created the database, inside the database, if you want, what are the things you can perform these things, DDL, DML, then DQL, DCL, TCL. So these are the operation you can perform. So what are the operation you can perform? That is what we are going to see now. Okay. So inside the DDL, data definition language, you can create one table. If you want to create one table, then you have to use this create, then what is the table name, then after that you have to enter the data. So what is, I mean schemas is nothing but the columns names you have to enter. So for that purpose you are going to use this create. Okay, and after that we do have the alter. So alter, why we are using this alter is, once you created one table, inside that table, if you want to change that column name, if you want to change some column name, you want to do some alter, then use this alter query. Okay, alter command. And after that alter, we do have the rename. Okay, by reading this name, you could say like, wow, maybe you get some idea what is rename is. Rename is nothing but the, if you want to rename any column, you can use this one. And also something we do have the drop. Drop is nothing but the, if you will use this drop, then you are deleting that table from the database. Okay. This is one of the interview question guys. Why we have to use the drop in SQL? SQL drop will help us to delete the table from the database. Okay. And after that, we will use something is called as the truncate. What is the truncate? Truncate will help us to delete the data from the table. Okay, it will delete all the data from the table and it will give you the fresh table. Okay, it means there is no data is available. So these are the things. So using the DDL, you can create one kind of the structure. What type of the structure you need in that data, in that table. Okay, so here also you can define the data types. Okay, we will also see what are the data types afterwards. Okay, so DML is nothing but the data manipulation, language. You can also say this as the right data. Okay, so here what is using is like, now you created the table structure. Okay, you created the columns, all the columns you have created now. Okay, with the data types. Now you have to insert the data inside the table. Okay, so what you have to do, you can use this DML. In DML, there is the one command is called as the insert. What is the use of the insert is, using this insert, you can put some new values inside this table. Okay, you can store the values inside this table. That's why you are using insert. And after that, you are using the update. Okay, so once you created the table, once you inserted any record, and after that, if you want to change that data, if you want to do some modification in this data, then you have to use this update function or update query. Okay, and after that we do have something it's called as the delete. So using this you can delete that particular record. Okay, so this is the DML. And after that we do have the DQL. Okay, what is the DQL? DQL is nothing but the data query language. Okay, what is the data query language? So here we are using this select. Here we are using this select. So if you want to see how many records are in that table and how many things are inside this column, so if you want to see anything, you can use this select. So this is called as the DQL. Okay, and after the DQL, we do have the DCL, data control language. Okay, data control language. So why we are using this data control language? For example, you are working inside that AI department. Okay, AI department, one of the AI studio, or you can say this is the data studio, AI studio, something you are working. Okay, inside that studio, for example, there are multiple sectors may be available, right? There is the DevOps teams may be available, and after that, there is the engineers will available, there is the front-end people available, data scientists are available, data analytics are available. So these all are people are from the different field, different designations, but they are in the same sector. That are AI sector, SAP sector, marketing sector. Inside each and every sector, they do have the different designation, group of people. Now, if you want to allocate some access for the some particular group, for example, I want to allocate the some kind of the permission for the data analytics people. So I can't directly give the same password to everyone, right? I have to give some certain limit of so I have to apply certain limit of restriction for that, data, and I have to give. So to give some kind of the permission, we using some command is called as the grant. Okay, so the grant command will help us to give some permission, and after that, something is called as the revoke. So anyway, you are not going to use these commands because this is totally depend on the DevOps team. And after that, something we do have is called as the TCL. Okay, TCL. TCL is nothing but the transaction transaction control language. Transaction control language. So here we do have the something is called as the commit, and rollback, and after that we do have the save point. Okay, so where we are using this transaction, okay, transaction. So where we are using this is like, for example, when you will visit this any of this ATM, right? So there are the certain steps you have to follow. First of all, you have to insert your debit card or any Visa, any card, and after that, you have to select which account your is, and after that you have to give the PIN number. Then certain procedure, the certain steps you have to follow to what withdraw the money, right? For example, once you reach, let's say there are the six steps are there to withdraw the money. But while when while you are in the process, so on that third steps, something got stuck or something happened. Okay, and some incident happened. So will what is the backend code want to do? So when if it is in the third steps, so automatically it will roll back to the zeroth round. Okay, it will automatically go back. So there you will get some kind of the error. So that is nothing but this the transaction control language. For example, certain steps, once you reach the certain steps, if any error occur, then just roll back to the initial position. So that is something. So this is totally accountant level of data. You will use this kind of the queries. Okay. So initially, guys, these are the things you have to learn. Okay. And apart from that, only in our class we are going to see these things. And after that, we will see something. It's called as the uh, aggregate aggregate and group by aggregate and group by. Okay, aggregate and the group by. These are the things we are going to see. What what is the aggregate is nothing but the sum, average, count, mean, max, group by. Okay, having. So also we do have something it's called as the joins. So I don't think so. We do have that much of time. If we do have the joins, then we will also see the join. Apart from that, something many things we do have in the SQL. If you want, you can explore by yourself. Advanced concepts we do have where we do have the subqueries, we index, and after that we do have the string function, upper, lower, trim, replace, substring, concatenate, string aggregation. And after that, we do have the mathematical function where in the mathematical function, we do have the seal, floor, random, round, power. And after that, we do have the date time function and pattern matching. So there are so many things out there. If you want, you can explore this SQL. But for our journey, this is enough. Okay. We will see this all these things, comments, and after that aggregate and group by and joins. These are the things we are going to see. Okay. So now, guys, so this much is clear for everyone. Just give me thumbs up, anything. Okay. So now we are going to see something. It's in while creating the table, right? Now we do have the we saw what is the SQL structure is. First, you have to create the database. Inside the database, you have to create the table. Inside the table, there is something is called as the data. This whole structure we used to call as the RDMS or RDBMS. Okay, you can call the all the structure is the that relation database management system, and this all the structure you can call as the RDBMS. Okay. Okay, so you can call this RDBMS. This is all the structure. Okay. So inside this, yeah, maybe there is maybe you can able to see the some kind of the diagram. It's called as the database diagram. Right. So like even if I will say um, let me click on the image. So see guys, these are the database diagrams. See, in this diagram, could you able to see something like one table is connected with the another table. So these all are the table which is inside the one database. Okay, this is the one database inside. So many tables are were created, but this all the tables are interconnected with each other. So, okay, I can able to see this is the one retail data database, because I can say the customer ID, surname, address, and invoices ID, order ID. So retailer invoices data I can able to see here. I can see here if this customer table there is the invoice ID is same, but invoice table there is the invoice ID. So the people are connected this customer table and invoice with the same column, which is the invoice ID. Okay, from this invoice ID and this here, they people are found something. So that is where they people are connected these tables. Okay. So this is how, even though guys, if you are not seeing any you are not seeing any common column names. Okay. But if that column, for example, let me take this invoice ID, and here I let me take the material ID. Okay. So this both the column names are different. Okay. But if the data inside these columns are similar, which they have some kind of the similarity, then even they can connect. Okay, by just giving some alias name. Okay, maybe that's the reason the people are connected with the invoice with the product. But anyhow, even if they will not connect with this store column, they have the connection with the this in this line. They do have the connection. Okay, so this is what we used to call as a database diagram. So this will this will give you kind of the idea like how much each table is, relation, having the relation between these two tables. Okay, so let's go our things. Okay, and after that, we do have the some kind of the data types. Okay, why I'm teaching this all the things from the scratch? Because the same things you have to use in the Power BI. Okay, so Power BI and SQL, these are the very important concepts in the data analytics world. Okay, so let me take your suggestion, guys. How many different type of the how many different types we do have in data? Can you please tell me? What are the different data types?
Numeric data types, variable.
Can you please tell loudly?
Numeric data types and variable data types.
And then you are not attended my Python class. How many data types we saw in our Python class? Guys, how many different type of data types we do have in Python?
Integer, float, string.
Okay. 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 So we do have the integer, right? Int, we used to say the int, and after that we used to say the float, and after that we used to say the bool, then string, right? So now here, okay, why we are using the int? Because only the number. Float is nothing but the decimal point number, which is we used to say the float, right? The boolean is nothing but the specific boolean values, true or false, right? And after that, here we do have something it's called as the char. Okay, char is nothing but the fixed length of the strings that can contain the number, letter, or specific any character. Okay, that is called as the char. So it means you can store any type of the data inside this char, but you have to mention, for example, char is like 50. So only 50 letter you can able to store inside this char. More than 50 you can't. Okay, that is why we have the char. Apart from the char, we do have the varchar. Varchar is nothing but the variable length string that can contain the number, letter, and the specific character. So char and the varchar, max to maximum, these both are kind of similar. Okay. And apart from that, here we do have something it's called as the date. Date is nothing but the date format, right? The y, and after that and dd. So date format, if you want to do anything in the dates, if you want to arrange into the date, if you want to put first year, or if you want to put first month, or if you want to put first date, you can make use of this date data types. Okay. And after that, we do have something it's called as the uh, uh, date time. Okay, here not only this, with this we can also give the time, hours, minutes, seconds. You can hours. You can also give the minutes and the seconds and the milliseconds. So you can go on. Okay, so these are the different type of data we do have in the SQL. Okay, so here we are not using the strings. Instead of the strings, we are using the char and var. Okay, guys. Okay, so apart from this, one more thing we do have to you have to learn here is something we do have the primary key. So we which we used to call the PK. What is the primary key? Primary key is nothing but the unique column. Okay. For example, in that column, if you want, if I will take the employee table. So which going to be the unique column for that employee table? Of course, employee ID, right? That should be present in that column, and that should that would not be the empty, like the table have only one there is one condition in the primary key. A table have only one primary key, which should which should be unique and not null. Okay, if it is a null, then it won't accept it. Okay, that should be the not null, and that should be the unique value. That is the condition for the primary key. Okay, there is a any minimum, there is you have to define any one column as a primary key. Okay, but inside the primary key, you have to follow these two conditions. First is should be the unique, and second, it's a not null. Okay, this is the things you have to follow. So let's see, like this should be the unique and the not. Okay, and after that, we do have the foreign key. Foreign key. which is FK. Foreign key column is used to the link the two or more table together, as we saw in the data diagrams, right? So it will connect the one table to another table. Okay, if the table data, if the column data type is similar with the current table and another table, then it will establish the connection between these two tables. That is the use of this foreign key. Okay, so inside the foreign key, there is the chance there is a duplicate and there is the chance there is a null. But primary key, there is no duplicate. There is, okay, even it will not accept the duplicate also. Okay, primary key. It will not accept the duplicate. It will, of course, if it is a unique, then of course it won't accept the duplicate. And after that, not null. So in the foreign key, there is a chance there is a duplicate value and there is a chance there is the null value. Okay. And apart from that, something is called as the constraints. Okay, constraints. What is the constraints? Constraints is nothing but the while creating the table, you have to give some condition. On the basis of the condition, it has to be like this, or else don't run it, or else don't do it. Some kind of the thing. So commonly we are using some constraints in the SQLs. What are they is, as I said already, the not none. This is the one constraint. Okay, even there is a chance the interview will ask you like what are the different constraints, name it, any four, any three. This is the one of the interview question. And after that, unique, and after that, primary key, and after that, the foreign key. Okay, as I said, right, foreign key. This is the one of the constraint, and after that, there is called as the check. Okay, check is nothing but it will ensure that the value of the column is satisfies or not satisfied. Okay, so if there is any column having any if else condition kind of the thing, it will tell whether it's satisfied or not. For that purpose, you are using this check. And after that, you are using, okay, let me say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and after that, you have something called as the default. For example, even we saw in the function in the Python. If some people is not written anything, then you are defining that into the function itself, right? While passing that argument, there itself you are mentioning, okay, this should be this number. If it is a user will not enter, then just consider this number. So that is nothing but default value you are giving. And after that, something is called as a credit index, or sorry, so something is called as the index. Okay, create index. Something is called as the index. So here it will not nothing but like it will tell you like what base or order base. Okay, we have to arrange. So we have to give the ascending and descending numbers. Okay, SR numbers, series numbers. So using that index, you can call any values and you can do any changes. Okay. That's it, guys. These are the basic things you have to learn. So let's see one example like how to create a one basic table. Okay. So first of all, guys, if you want to create one basic table, first what you have to do is you have to say, if you want to create any table, then what is we saw create. You have to use this create. Okay. So you have to say create table, and after that you have to give the table name. Okay, so this is the actually I'm syntax I'm just giving. So this is the syntax. Okay, you have to say create table and just give the table name. For example, I'm just giving the table name as the customer. Okay, table name is customer, and after that just open the bracket. Okay, open the round bracket, and inside the round bracket, just write it down this. For example, I want, this is the customer. So customer, so we do want the one customer ID, right? I want the customer ID, just put into the double quotes. Okay. So, okay. So in some of that, client-based server, like as I mentioned, Workbench, Postgres, DBWare, and after that, there is something, there are so many SQL Lite. So many, that client-based servers are there. So some server will accept the single quote, some will accept the double quotes. So you have to identify that. Okay, as of now, let's keep this as a double quote. I want the ID, employee customer ID. So I just created that ID. And after that, I have to give what the data type is. Like I'm saying, this should be int data type. So in the SQL, there is the int means int 8 there is available. So I'm saying int 8 data types, and this should be the primary key. So I'm saying this should be the primary key. Okay. These things I have to give. I just gave the column name, then its data type, then what condition. Nothing but the constraint. This is nothing but this is the constraint. Okay. This is the constraint which we saw here. Okay. Primary key is the one of the constraint. Okay. And after that, let's give the customer name. I want the customer name. Okay. So I gave the customer name, and the customer name should be, I just want it's in the varchar data type. So I'm writing the varchar. So I say it right. In the varchar is nothing but it will accept the one specific limit. So I have to say that should be in the 50 votes, and that should be the not null. If it is empty, then don't accept it. Okay, not null. And again, I want something it's called as the age. Okay, age should be in the integer, and that should be in the not null. Okay, just give the comma, and after that, I want something it's called as the city. City should be in the char, and that also should be in the 50 letter. And then I want the salary. Salary should be in the numeric. Okay, and after that, last close the bracket and give the semicolon. Okay, so this is the normal way to create any table. Got it, guys? Okay. So now, if I already now I created the table. Okay. So now, if I want to do some alter. Okay, if I want to do the alter, then what I have to do is, once I created this table, but now I want to change the name as a customer name. Age should be customer age. So how can I do that? So for that, we can use the another, which is nothing but the alter. As I said, right, using alter, you can change the name. Okay, so you have to say alter, and after that you have to say alter table, and after that you have to tell the table name. So in our case, what is our table name? It's a customer, right? So you have to say customer. This is the same for everything. If you want to use a rename, if you want to drop, if you want to change, so everything is same. So now, for example, if I want to add some new column, then what I will do. So for example, this you have to write for everything. If I want to do the add the column, so I will say add, I will say add, and after that column, and after that column name. Here I want to add the column name. Okay, so for example, if I want to add the column name into the, I want to add the date column, or I want to add the I want to add the attendance column. So any column, if I want to add, then I can add here. Let me add the one of the date column here. Okay, so just I want to say I want to close this. So using this query, it will add the one new column as a date. Okay. Now, after that, if I want to drop, so you have to write this same till here, then you have to say drop, okay, drop column. Which column you want to drop? For example, I want to drop the age column. You can say age. So it will drop the age column. Okay. So here there is something it's called as the if you want to do the modify, if you want to do the modify the column, okay, modify the data types. Okay, so if you want to do the modify, you can write this same, and after that you say modify column, and after that I want to modify the city. Here is the char, right? I want to modify as the varchar 50. So this data type will be, you can modify using this modify. Okay. Here, if you want to do the some changes. Okay, change in the sense, for example, any change column, and instead of this ID int 8 ID, you want to say you want to change into the ID, or like ID. You can add anything, customer ID. Before this ID, you can write the customer ID, and after that you can give the name of the customer, like a data type of the customer ID. For example, I want to give the int. Okay, you can even write the int, or you can also write the int 8. Okay, there is both are different, and just you have to close, in each and everything you have to close with the semicolon, and also you have to do the rename. You can also do the rename. Okay, so how you will do this rename? Just you have to type the rename. So here, when you want to do the rename, so you have to come out of this loop. Instead of saying this, you can say rename, and after that table. Which table? Customer table. Customer table, and here you can say to to employee table, to employee. So it will change, it will rename the your table. Okay, so these are the guys basics things. Okay, where you can perform on the basis of this, like you can create some table and you can alter this table. Okay, anyone having any doubts? Okay, so as I said, this is for the alter the table, and after that we saw something, it's called as the DML. Okay, the same thing also we will see in the in SQL also. Okay, workbench also we will see. I will show you the demo, but let's understand first, then we will do the demo. Okay, And DML. DML, we do have the three things: insert, update, and delete. Right? So insert and update and delete. So how you have to use this insert? So insert, if you want to use the insert, say insert. So this is something is called as the DML, right? This is called as a DML, data manipulation language. So insert into customer, okay? Insert into the customer. After that, you have to say the values. Okay, values. So first, what is the customer? What table we have created? First is ID, then name. So let's give the ID. ID is, let's give the not one. Okay. And after that, give the name is the Tom. And after that, age and city. Age, let's give the 25. City, let's give the Mumbai. And after that, what is the last? Salary. Salary, let's give the 25K. This is it. So when you will type this, and in the end, if you will do the semicolon, so this will enter and it will store into this value into that table. Okay. So guys, here I just written the value. Okay, value. Okay, so when you're writing the value, you can enter the single rows, single values. Okay, for the one rows. But if you want to do for the multiple rows, then you just here you have to mention as values. Just put the values, and after that, giving the, instead of giving the semicolon, put the comma and just write another data. And after that, put the semicolon, write the another data, the same like this. Okay. And here one type of, if you have the 5 column, if you just enter the 4 value, then it will there is a possibility it will give you the error. If it is any condition where constraint is given, if none constraint is given, then that empty value it will take as a null. Okay. So this is totally depend on your constraint. Okay. So after that, there is one more, it's called as the update. What is the update? Update contains the three things. Okay. One is the update, and after that, the set, and after that, where. Okay. So what is the, if what, why we are using update? For example, some particular row I want to update. Okay. So update, after that you have to say to whom I have to update, which table I have to update. So here you have to say the customer. Customers table you have to update. Set, what is the set? Like I have to set the name. Okay, what is the second one is the name, right? So I have to set the name is equal to Tom, right? I want to change that into the Maria. Okay, I want to change that name into the Maria. Where is nothing but the, you can say this ID is equal to not one. Okay. So for ID, it will take this ID as a reference, and after that, it will update the value. So someone having any doubt about? Yes. Okay. So guys, so I hope you guys are understood, right? So apart from that, these are the basics things, guys. Okay. And apart from this update and the insert, and there is something it's called, we also saw the where, right? And after that, something it's called as the delete. Delete is nothing but the just write it down the delete, and after that write it down that particular the same thing. So it will delete. For example, you have to say delete from student where, like you have to say delete from customer, and after that where here. But what you have to delete? You say, okay, delete from the customer, but what? Where ID is equal to not one. Okay, so it will delete the particular ID. Okay, so guys, okay, so in the next class we will see the same thing in the demonstration. Okay, I will show you into the workbench, so please keep in your mind, install the workbench and please attend the next class. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope like everything is clear. Is there anyone having any doubt? No. Okay, then we are good. Okay, guys, we'll see you in the next class. Thank you.